This week's episode, Whiskey Wednesday, at long last. It's a bit late, very late actually. I was planning on doing this week's Whiskey Wednesday a lot earlier than now. It's 9:15. So I don't even know if this will be out on Wednesday, but I'm recording it on a Wednesday, which is really cool. So, what we got? We've actually got some whiskey. Oh, crikey. Just about Aberfeldy, 16-year-old, which is unbelievable. As you can tell, I enjoyed a few over the weekend, which was pretty good. I was actually, listen to this. How gorgeous. Now, before I get going, it's cool to have a whiskey on a Wednesday, and I'll tell you why in a minute. Why it's quite late me doing this one today. It's a beautiful colour, this whiskey. You can tell it's aged for longer because it's got like this more deeper, rich golden colour to it. I think I've had Aberfeldy before, but it's been the 10-year-old, I think it was. This is the 16-year-old. Not a lot more expensive, although the bottles are expensive. But look at that, as a rich, beautiful colour. It's unbelievable. Anyway, before I jump to it, now I was watching the Stack Chat, the Saturday Stack Chat, and I think I posted a little short with a whiskey in front of the screen, and the Stack Collector asked me what I was drinking. That's what I was drinking, dude. Aberfeldy 16-year-old. Look at that bottle. Doesn't it look gorgeous? You could make a nice gold back that looked like that. Anyway, I mustn't promote drinking. It's not good, is it? It is on a Whiskey Wednesday. Anyway, cheers everybody. Now, excuse me. I'm sure I'm getting a cold. I've been a little bit coldified since I've been back from Berlin. But that hasn't really come out. It's left me a bit sniffly and groggy. Now, have you noticed anything different? The normal viewers probably would have noticed a bit of a difference, but I've had a bit of a tidy up. I've changed the setup. I've tried to organise the back a little bit better, and to the right hand side this now I've got things like my Cobra Stacker statue, and a couple of like a bit of an Egyptian theme going on there on the right hand side of the setup. A few bits in the background, very Cobra-y, which I think is pretty cool. My 1 kilo dragon, copper coins there. The oldest coin I got is over 2,000 years old. That's widow's mite. Don't know too much about it, but it was on Cobra Stacker's last auction, I believe, and I thought I've really got to have that. What a bit of history to have. And then as we pan over to the left hand side, I've organised myself. My stickers are up there that people have very kindly sent me. I've obviously got my Panda kilo coin there. And then we've got some poker chips, courtesy of Stephen, courtesy of Addicted to Precious Metals. We've got the Stack Collector in the middle there, which is pretty cool. And then obviously over to this side, I've given 365 his own corner, surrounded by copper, which I thought was pretty cool. But I love it down there. I love where that is. I think that looks pretty cool. So yeah, I've had a bit of a change around. Let me get my camera back properly and see whether it looks okay like that. I'm not sure. Anyway, so yeah, I've tidied that up a little bit better than what it was, which is pretty cool. How's that? You can tell I'm in a bit of a rush tonight. What happened was I saw a video this afternoon. Oh, Stephen. And I think he mentioned something the other day about, on a video or in a chat, something about he was selling his silver. And I was thinking, no, you're not selling your silver, dude. You're not going to be doing that. But anyway, he posted a video today and was saying he's getting rid of his Una bars. And I thought, no, absolutely no way you're doing that. You know, because it's quite a bit of an ongoing little joke we have about Stephen and his Una bars. He's got them all, and he's never going to let them go. Anyway, seriously, he is letting them go, and I thought, oh crikey, and then I watched the video, and he was saying like he's got a few things he needs to sort out, and he's got to sell some of his silver to sort something out anyway. At a personal level. So I thought, oh wow, crikey, that's nuts. Anyway, I quickly sent him a text and just said, are you really selling those? And he said, yeah. And I asked him for a price. He gave me a price. Anyway, I had to go out, and my van was in for an MOT and a service today. So I've had a day off today. It was quite nice. Come on, CBM. Cut a long story short. And I thought I'd give him a call, make sure he's okay. And I gave him a ring, had a quick chat. And yeah, he's getting rid of his Una bars anyway. I decided to buy some off of him, which was really cool. Anyway, later on, I had to sort out payment and that, and after my tea, I thought I'd quickly ring Stephen. Anyway, I've been on the phone for over 2 hours to him, just chatting. I wished we'd recorded it. We've been talking about doing a video together, and I said to him at the end, wouldn't it be really cool? I should have videoed this, because it's fantastic, interesting guy, got a lot of knowledge, got an extreme amount of knowledge of silver and gold. But anyway, I had a wonderful chat. I just said, mate, I've got to go because I haven't done my Whiskey Wednesday yet, and I really wanted to do it. Anyway, so we ended the call, and I sat and I thought, oh crikey. And then I saw 365 video, and I watched that because it said he'd mentioned me. And anyway, he said, oh crikey, I'm doing a Whiskey Wednesday on CPM's Whiskey Wednesday night, and not that it's my night, guys, crikey, it really isn't. It's, I don't own this franchise, whatever, or this name or anything, but I really appreciate people saying about it. This is really cool. And I thought, oh crikey, so I ended up watching that, and maybe even later, and so yeah, then I quickly saw another video, and I thought, oh, that'd be interesting. It'd be interesting to see that point of view. And I thought, no, I must go and do my Whiskey Wednesday. So here I am, totally unorganised, and that's the reason why it's probably not going to be going out tonight, because the time I edit these, and then the time I get them all downloaded, because it's quite a long format. It's not going to be out till tomorrow, so I do apologise, but it is what it is. I had a fantastic conversation, really interesting conversation with someone out of the community. So what's been going on. Um, let's have a backtrack. What have I been watching? What's been floating me boat? Oh, I forgot to say, like, I've still got Camel sitting out there. Sorry, mate, I didn't mention you, but I'm probably going to mention you tonight. Anyway, so what's been going on? What have I been doing? Obviously, workload-wise, still relatively busy. It's sort of starting to come to the end of that busy period, but who knows with our weather. It might get crazy busy if it goes really cold again. Other than that, from a precious metals point of view, as you all know, went to the Berlin World Money Fair. Picked up some nice stuff, which I've been putting videos and shorts on. Check them out on my channel. Yeah, fascinating, really interesting. What a great couple of days away. Would I do it again? Yes, definitely. Probably a bit more wiser. It was fascinating. It was really interesting. I didn't know what to expect, but I do know now, and I would definitely go again. And if anyone gets the opportunity to go, then yeah, it's well worth the visit. Well worth the visit indeed. As I've said on one of my videos before, one of the most interesting things is the concept of a lot of the mints, private mints, government mints, that were there. They, most of them, I would say, are really going down this route of high relief, arty type, silver designs. And if you're into that sort of thing, you like collecting that sort of thing, well then you're in for a treat, because the stuff that's coming out is is pretty mind blowing, to be fair. And lucky enough, as I did a video the other day, you've still got a couple of mints that are making. This is my personal opinion, only my personal opinion, but obviously the ball mint is one of the mints I highlighted on a video recently. They seem to be making plain bullion very interesting indeed, and by the looks of it, pretty cost effective in the big scheme of things. So that's going to be really interesting to see how that develops, for sure. But yeah, as a rule, yeah, it was really super cool. I had some time. First time I've actually met Cobra Stacker, albeit I think I've always felt like I've known him personally, because our relationship's really cool. God, he's a grinder. Gee whiz, he just does not stop. And I know he's managed to possibly build some relationships up that will definitely be of benefit to anyone that's interested in gold and silver going forward. So. And that was a complete honour to watch him graft and do his thing, It's we're lucky in this country to have someone like him. It makes it sound like I'm making him sound like Superman, but to be fair, there isn't anyone really else out there that's doing what he's personally doing. I'm very sorry if there is, but I don't know anyone. So yeah, that was really cool to see. So that's quite exciting for you, us, me, for our community that has got an interest in that sort of thing. So that's really cool. I'm not going to go on about that too much, but I did find it interesting, very interesting indeed. So what else? Stack chat. I always like watching the stack chat. And the Stack Collector's doing an amazing job there. His set up, what he's doing technically with that channel, his channel. I don't always get to see it live, but most of the time on a Sunday morning when I'm busy doing something, I will listen more, wait for it. But this Saturday I did actually manage to sit there for an hour or so, had a whiskey, which I actually did a short on, and yeah, listened to stuff. But he was celebrating, I think it's his official birthday this week. So I just want to say cheers, mate. You're doing a great job. You're following what you want to do, and yeah, it's really cool. Really cool. Other than that, from a video point of view, I haven't watched a lot of stuff from precious metals creators, if I'm brutally honest, and I want to be brutally honest. I used to watch a hell of a lot, but I've stopped that consumption rate down, and there's a really good reason for that, and I'll explain that in a minute. So deep apologies if I haven't mentioned anyone else. I do quickly scan through videos from the regulars. I'm probably not as haven't been as vocal in comments and bits and pieces, and I've just haven't had time, and that sounds like a fucking cop out, really, but I'm being honest, I'm not going to bullshit and just say, oh, there's another stupid excuse. I haven't really had time, and the real reason for that is I'll go into that in a little bit more detail in a little while. My time, especially now, and I'm going to talk about it in a minute, needs to be concentrated on other things, and yeah, I'll go into that in a bit more. So I do apologise. One person I would like to mention that I haven't heard or seen anything of, and that might be because I haven't been watching or anything, and that's Shiny Precious Metals. He sent me a message the other day. And I'm sorry, mate, I haven't got your glass out that you sent me, because these ice cubes that 365 sent me, not the ice cubes, but the ice cube maker, don't really fit in your glass. So I have to use this Jack Daniels one, which is slightly bigger for these big ice cubes. So yeah, but yeah, I hope you're well, Shiny Precious Metals. I hope you're well. Yeah, I haven't seen any videos out there, but I might be wrong. Maybe you are posting, and I do apologise. I missed it, but I haven't seen a lot of your chat around. So I hope you're good. I wish you well in whatever's going on, and I can say that for everyone else. I know 365 has been doing his thing. I know he started up this. I'm going to butcher this because I'm just not up with the modern tech. I know you're doing this Discord, is it? Discord thing? No idea what it is. If I'm brutally honest, I haven't even got, and I might be being totally, I don't think I'm being disrespectful. I haven't got the time to even look into it. It's not something that I need or want. Hopefully I'll look into it, because everyone seems to, even Stephen was talking about Discord tonight. I have no idea what it is. So yeah, I know him. I think it's Sire the Sandman, and the Stat Collector have been mentioning it quite a bit. So yeah, dude, guys, I'll have a look at it at some point, but I'm just too old for it all. I've got so much going on. So yeah, I know that's being pushed. Good luck to you all. Wish you well with everything, and if I ever get 5 minutes, I'll drop in and just see what it's all about. But I might be missing out on something really cool, but I'll have a look in due course. Other than that, from a community thing, other than The only thing I can say is, obviously, Stephen is, he's got to sell a bit of silver, and I hope as a community we can help him out there. No one's, well, for me, I don't mind buying some silver. I'm not going to stick myself up on price, buying it from people, but one thing I will do is pride myself in support. And if anyone's out there that needs to move some precious metals on and it helps them, and I think as a community, because we all fucking go on about how great this community is, then we need to support people, and I hope that everyone's going to support him in a little way, big way, whatever you can do, to help him achieve his goals and what he's trying to achieve. And I'll say that for anyone else. This is when proper community actually works. So I hope that's working and continues to work, which is really cool. What else? Thank you for everyone that's commented on my last lot of videos. Always appreciate it. I'm trying to keep on top of answering. I've had a few more subscribers, which is really cool. But I will say, and I'll keep repeating this, I don't come on here for subscribers. I don't come on here for anyone to send me anything. But boy, it's, I really do appreciate anything that anyone sends me, genuinely. But please don't send me anything. You need to keep it for yourselves. Keep your money, guys, and use it for your own means. I promise you there isn't, this sounds so arrogant, but it isn't meant in an arrogant way. I do this because I just like to record my journey more than anything. Nothing more, nothing less. And hopefully try and open a few doors for a few people to improve their lives, I guess. But that said, I still appreciate people bothering. And one of the nicest things I said about getting back to the core basics of why I started Whiskey Wednesday was to have an open discussion, a no holds barred open discussion, and I sort of got away from that a little bit for a little while, and it's been really nice to see quite a few people reach out and just say, come on, get back to it, CPM. Get yourself oiled up on some whiskey and go for it and say what you think. So that's really cool. Right, going forward, the reason why I haven't had a lot of time, I am from a precious metals point of view, and my investments personally point of view, I'm really trying to educate myself. I'm at a point where most of my investment journey has reached a point that I haven't personally experienced in any cycles of my investment journey. That sounds really weird the way I got there. And I need to keep my eye on everything because there's so much going on so quickly at the moment. As exciting as it is, I still need to be very aware of what I'm doing, what's going on. So my attention, other than being a husband, a dad, running my own business, the rest of the time has been really focused on what's going on in the marketplace, and whether my investments and time and energy that I put into my investments is on track, and it's for me personally, where I like to know the ins and outs and experience growth, especially recent growth, where it's gone absolutely well. I've never experienced anything like it before personally. I need to keep my feet on the ground. I need to not get too carried away, which is why I've always promoted Camel Finance's channel. He definitely helps to keep my feet on the ground. Expect the unexpected. That's the motto, isn't it? And I think we've got a little bit of that this week. But it's all well and good making decisions, seeing fantastic benefits from making those decisions and going through the hard graft to get your portfolio to where it is. But it's equally important not to take your eye off the ball and keep expecting the unexpected, because you want to protect all that hard work and energy that you've put into it. So that's what I've been doing recently, which is really cool. Talking of which, I do try to remember every now and then to put a little short up to let you know about my 500 subscriber giveaway. That's doing amazingly well. For anyone that doesn't know, check it out. You go back through my videos, you'll see what I'm doing. But basically, we've got a 500 subscriber giveaway. If we ever get there on this channel, we might do, we might not. I really have no idea. But basically, what I did 4 months ago, back in October, I think it was October, I'm sure it was, I purchased £100 worth of Bitcoin, stuck it in my a separate account on my cold wallet system, and I thought I'd use that and let it grow, or whatever it's going to happen to it, and use that as a giveaway prize for if I ever get to 500, or whenever that could happen. Who knows? I don't know. But anyway, that's doing really well. Well, it goes up and down. It hasn't been going down that much. It does have little spurts where it just drops a few pounds, £10 max. I think it's dropped since. But I think before I come out tonight over to my studio, I think it was 83% up, which is insane. It's from the little that I know, and I know nothing about investments and returns. For when you think about it, in an asset that's grown in value, 83, and been volatile during that growth, but overall it's an 83% growth. It's fantastic. It's really cool, and I do hope that continues to grow over time, and one day someone will win it. Be interesting, the question I'm going to ask. What I'll probably do is we'll get there. Hopefully one day, when we get there, I'm going to ask a poignant question. And that question will go to everybody, and then in a time period, and then probably whoever gets it right, if there's more than one, then there'll be another question. If there's only one person that gets it right, they win it all, whatever it'll be worth. I have no idea. It might be worth nothing. It might be just a damp squid. I'm not quite sure that'd be the case, but you never know. So yeah, that's the 500 subscriber giveaway. Keep an eye on that, guys. You never know where that's going to go. Well, I think we're up to 250. So we've passed the halfway rate, which is really cool. Really, really cool, actually. I always remember thinking, wow, would I ever get to 1 or 10? But yeah, with a bit of support from the community, yeah, we've managed to get there, and hopefully what I do is a benefit to people more than anything. So, moving on from there, let's talk some shit. Now, what am I doing going forward? Well, I think, other than Stephen, buying some Unibars from Stephen, I am definitely not going to be going mad on silver. That's for sure. It doesn't make sense to me at all. This is my opinion, guys. Of course, it makes sense, but to me, it doesn't make sense. Over the Christmas period, over a lot of quiet time, looking, delving, reading history, data, I cannot get myself up to buying silver in the excuse of it's a good investment. I've learned now in my own head that for me personally, that is not the terminology I will use for my silver buying going forward. I hope that makes some sense. I don't see it as an investment for me. Do I see it as a something to have? Yes, I do. Do I see it as in the risk curve of what I look at? Oh, crikey. Maybe if I was going to stack away and had the time period, and I would say for me personally, it would have to be educated guess, and I want to make sure it's an educated guess. If I had 20 years, probably 20 years plus, to stack away some cheap silver on a regular basis, then, and it didn't have a major impact on my pocket from a stacking, pushing, saving, possibly point of view, then I would do that. Does that work for me now? No, it doesn't. Not at all. Not interested. I could, if I looked at it from, let me say, like between now and 2030, I could get carried away and buy it. Of course I could. It's beautiful. It's lovely. I found these Phoenix from the Bullman, a bit of a nemesis thing for me. I could get carried away and spend lots of money on it. But it doesn't make sense to me anymore in that sort of time frame. And it probably wouldn't make sense to me on a longer time frame to invest a lot of money into silver, personally. It doesn't make sense. It really doesn't. Not at all. I'm sorry if some people don't agree, and I'm quite happy for people to not agree. I don't want to debate over it. I'll always talk to people about my opinions, and I'll always listen to others, and probably most other people are quite genuine about what they say. But for me, silver, no. Pretty nice stuff, lovely, but it's on my timescales ain't going to work. And even if I had a longer timescale, I certainly wouldn't put as much money as possibly I thought I could do and probably have, to be honest. So that's where we are with silver. Gold, different. But again, I would always look at silver and gold as a longer time frame. Would I look at it as an investment? It all depends how you classify the word investment. It's really weird words, isn't it? And it's very personal. But out of the two, I'm probably going to want to invest my money and energy into gold more than silver over the next 10 years, maybe. But I've got to be careful. I now look at gold as a more stable way of saving and preserving my pound. I look at my pound in gold as a possible. The volatility is not as harsh, whereas my pound in silver is harsher. So when I'm trying to, if you look at a graph and you're trying to get the waves of volatility out and as on a straight line as possible, and hopefully going upwards, gold makes sense. It makes sense for me to push some money into. But again, from an investment point of view, I would probably look at gold as more, okay, if I want to save some money into gold and just protect that money, that's where I'm going to put it. Now, the big thing with this with me is what I don't hear a lot of people talking about is inflation and money debasement, because it plays a massive part in all of this. Now, it's all right me turning around and saying, well, my pound going into a pound of gold, pound's worth, monetary-wise, not a pound of gold, weight-wise. Yeah, it preserves it. Well, yes, it does preserve it, but one thing I will say that I'm personally very aware of is purchasing power. Now, 10 years down the line, if that, obviously I've still got my pound's worth of value of gold still, and it's still probably worth a pound's worth of value gold, maybe a little bit more. If I converted it back into the current currency that we've got at the moment, not sure we're going to have that 10 years down the line. I'm not sure, but what I do know is what I know now, is my purchasing power is more than likely not going to be very good. I might have protected the value of the pound that I put into it, but I think it gets overlooked so much in our community and as a community as a whole, because it's not a good seller. If you introduce inflation, and especially inflation that we've had since probably 2020, and money debasement because of money printing, you've got to look at what you're converting back into. You really have. And if you don't, you're a fucking idiot, because you're being very naive, and I'm sorry to say that. And of course, I am saying this as though I'm talking to myself, no one else. This is how I talk to myself. This is what I say to myself. I say, CPM, fucking stop being naive. Don't forget this, don't forget that, because it's so important. It is so important. And one of the things I've observed is many people don't talk about that, because to me, if you start talking about that, you start looking at precious metals in a very different light. You really do. And I know people won't like this, and I don't care whether they like it or they don't like it. I'm talking openly as though no one else is listening. It's just me talking to me. But I think some people will not talk about it, and I often sit there and I think, Jesus, but people don't talk about it because it seems so obvious. It might get a flirting little, oh, it's a hedge against inflation. We'll talk about inflation. Where is inflation? What produces inflation? It's just a hedge against inflation, and it makes it sound like gold, especially, and people call it again with silver. They don't talk about that inflation and the effects of inflation on that. They just say, oh, it's a good hedge against inflation. Well, what the fuck if the inflation rate goes through the roof? Or the monetary value, if you convert your precious metals back into the currency that you're using on an everyday life just to fucking exist, what if that purchasing power is shockingly shit? Because of inflation, because of the hidden inflation, because of the not truthful inflation that we're told about. because of money debasement. It's all right printing loads of money. Oh God, yeah, assets will go up, this will go up. What? Yeah, 18 months down the line, what are you buying for it? Had your latest electricity bills in? Had your mortgage rates in yet? Your new mortgage rates? What's the price of a car now? What's the price of your groceries now? What's the standard of living now? They're the sort of things I talk to myself about all the time. And I have to. Because if I don't, I'm being awfully naive. As I said, people either talk about that or they don't talk about that. And if they talk about it, it's a very fleeting. Some people out there really talk about it, and really from a good educational point of view, because it's so important. Other people won't mention it because it affects what they're trying to achieve, which is fine. Absolutely fine. You know, I'm not going to tell people the bad side of investing in stuff. And it might not sound as good as what we like it to sound, especially if we're trying to sell them something. So be careful out there, guys. Do your research. Always said, do your research. Now, the same applies to absolutely everything else. I'm not bashing. You all know I'm a silver collector stacker. I am. I love the stuff. I'm fucking terrible with it, you know. And gold. You wait to see what I've been doing from a gold point of view. Maybe you'll see it, maybe you won't. I don't know, you know. But you all know I purchased the bloody stuff. You've only got to watch certain auctions or certain videos that I've done, you know. It's important to my portfolio. Really is. But I tell you what, the most important thing to my portfolio is one, me, my health, and two, the education on money and finance. And as I've said, I'm no expert and I don't know anything. I really don't know. I do know more than what I did 2 years ago, but I'm constantly learning. I'm not doing things parrot fashion. I'm using my own experience and that logical experience. You know, it's very easy. I can pick up a book and quote a zillion million things. I could just copy and paste other people's channels. You know, I go on about Camel Finance's channel. I can copy blah, 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 blah. But what's the point? What am I learning? I'm not learning anything. I want to look at it from my eyes, from my reality, from the doors I open, from the shocking decisions I make, from the good decisions I make, you know. So, yeah, inflation, monetary systems, Feds, central banks, CBDCs. Freaking educate yourself on it, guys. That's it. It ain't all about. I mean, if you're hiding behind, look, the egotistical thing. Look what I've got. Look what I've purchased. It's gonna make me rich. Fucking get a life, man. It ain't going to. The only thing it's gonna make is people that sell this stuff. Makes them rich, maybe, maybe not. You've got to educate yourselves. It's a wonderful world. I would never go back and not want silver in my portfolio, gold in my portfolio, stocks and shares in my portfolio, Bitcoin in my portfolio, but they're just investments. They're just a way of hopefully, and there's a great word there, hopefully, possibly being on top of that crazy financial system that doesn't give a second shit about you and me. Really doesn't. You know, you got me at it now, haven't you? I could go out, and I know guys, I could go out and buy monster boxes of these. I really could. And egotistically, I could go and look at them and think, wow, what have I done? That looks really cool. Maybe great for a video, maybe good for my ego, maybe good for, I don't know, if you're channel building, I don't know. How many times can you film a monster box? The interesting question is whether it's a monster box or one Britannia coin, silver coin, what's it going to do for you? That's a great question. What is that item going to do for you? Now, that opens up many, 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 many questions. It could just make you feel good, or fair play. It could put you in debt. Fair play, if that's what you want to do. It's just not something that is a really good idea at all. It could be, a great ego thing for you. It could make you happy. You could go through many, 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 many reasons why you want your monster box or one. Ultimately, if you're looking at it to protect your hard-earned frigging money that you get up, you wake up in the morning. I don't know what your circumstances are, but let's take a dad that's married, not married, with a partner, whatever, or a mum that gets up every morning, has to sort one or two kids out, or and then go out, graft away on the hamster wheel, pardon me, to keep a roof over their head, to try and keep warm, to try and eat half decent food, there's a bit of reveal in that bar. Sorry, it'll probably make a lot of people sick. It's what are you doing? You're converting all of that hard energy, remember the word hard energy that you grind out day in, day out, day in, day out, day in, day out, day in, day out for a customer or a employer to pay you a fiat currency for that wonderful time and effort that you put in to be useful for either, if you're working for yourself, for customers, or if you're working for an employer, for your employer, So you're going to exchange all that into your piece of silver or piece of whatever investment. What is it going to give you back? There's the question. And if you can find the time to, before you start getting crazy with your money, find the time to educate yourself. And it takes time, dudes. Guys, ladies, gentlemen, it takes time. I've said this, I don't know how many times. I've sunk so many hours, and I will continue to soak so many hours trying to understand the whole system. And boy, I don't think I'll ever understand it, because I'm not at a level of understanding. I'm not at the privilege of making the decisions that fuck over all of our lives every day. But what I can do is try and protect it the best way possible. So that's the message. That's the message of Whiskey Wednesday. Always, 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 always. You do you. Not your daddy. You've heard me say this before. Just do you. But please, 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 it's hard out there. It's going to get tougher. Always going to get tougher. Do your homework, Do your homework. If you're going to just sit there and vegetate yourself in front of the TV, that's fine. If you're going to sit there and vegetate yourself in front of your favourite YouTubers, maybe I'm not the one, that's fine. But make sure you're learning something. Be productive. Be productive with your time. Always be productive. You know, you'll get flack, you'll get grief. Life isn't hard. It isn't easy. We make it hard, we make it easy. There's some good assets out there that if you follow the narrative and try and understand the narrative and have a little bit of belief in yourself, then you can try and beat inflation. You can try and beat money debasement. You can try, which is better than fucking ignoring it. Here we go. Whiskey Wednesday's back, guys. I really do believe in it. It's I've got to a point now. I can honestly say with my hand on my heart that I'm so much more comfortable because I know something way more than when I didn't know. And a lot of people go, what the fuck are you going on about? Well, if you start to educate yourself, you'll know exactly what I said there. You really will. Basically, I'm saying that because I've done some work, I now know it. I know now. Sorry, that sounds awful. I now know it. That makes me like know it all. What I mean to say is, I now know something. Now it's up to me to either act on that, expand it, experiment with it, or just fuck it off. Wow, there's a bit of swearing in tonight, isn't there? That's me. I'm passionate about it. I want to see everybody succeed. After, oh God, this sounds awful, but after God knows how many years of grinding away in my life, basically shitting up the wall, and the money that I've exchanged is crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Yeah, I'm fortunate in my life. I could be more fortunate, but I want to share that story. You know, I want people to even know when times are tough. You know, it's everything's overcomable. Great story. My son, my oldest boy, the oldest one. Speaking to him the other day, and he said, "Dad, you know, he's grinding away. He's like old school, but in a young head, which is super cool. Grinding away, saving up. Him and his partner, doing really well. Got an astronomical amount of money to save up just to get a deposit for a house, which is fucking ridiculous. But it is what it is, and they're not put off by it, and they're trying and they're grinding." And he said, "Oh, Dad, what's all this credit score business?" And I said, "Well, when you want to borrow money for a loan, or I don't know, a phone or anything that it involves, you're scored, you know." And he said, "Oh, yeah, I thought that was the case." And he said to me, he said, "I've had a look at my credit score and it's poor." And he said, "That's really disappointing." And I said, "Mate, no, it's good." And he said, "What?" I said, "No, it's good." I said, "It's poor because I know your circumstances. You've got no debt, dude. You've got no debt with his phone." I said, "The reason why it's poor is because you're not in the system of debt." Just think about it. I just paused that off there. Think about it. You've got a poor credit rating for someone that isn't in the system of debt. What does that tell you? Now I know some people have got a poor credit rating because they haven't managed their debt. I get that. But his circumstances, he has no debt. So what do they want you to do? What does our wonderful system want us to do? It's debt-based. So when you think about it, I did do a side step. I said your youngest brother, not your youngest brother, the younger brother, my youngest son, he's got a poor credit rating. He hasn't got any debt whatsoever. So it will be poor because no one can rate you on it. So I said to him, look, mate, he said, well, what about when I want to go for a mortgage? And I said, well, I'm not sure, but I would have thought that possibly through your proving system, then with the amount of money you've got by for a deposit, one is the biggest thing in your favour, and two, you've got proof that you've got no debt, so your liability is good. You're a hard worker. And he said, oh, I didn't see it like that. I said, the problem is now, mate, is that everything is so based on debt. The whole economy is so debt based, and that is, if you don't educate yourselves, guys, ladies and gentlemen, on what a debt based economy really is, then you're being very naive and you're not understanding what you're trying to do with your investments. You're really not. It's not just about, oh, I'm going to go out and buy some gold. Oh, I'm going to go out and buy some Bitcoin. Oh, I'm going to go and buy a Tesla. Oh, I'm going to buy the S&P 500. No, fucking educate yourselves. Educate yourselves. I can't say it enough. So, yeah, when I had a chat with him and he went, oh, right, okay. And he said, oh, I wonder why his partner has got a really good credit rating, but which means she manages her debt very well. But do you need to be in debt like that? That's a choice thing. That's a positional thing. I get that. That's fine. But understand it. Don't think that, oh my God, I need loads of debt and be able to, because you will heap so much pressure on yourself. And then, pardon me, if you don't understand that concept, then how are you going to save? How are you going to put money into, even if you want to put money into precious metals? They don't want you to do it because it's not good for the debt economy. Makes sense? I'm only talking like this because, boy, trust me, 4 years ago, didn't understand none of this. And I'm 59 nearly. That's why I want it for my channel, And people can watch this, not watch it. I just want you to think about where we are, what we're doing. Don't get suckered into the system. Don't think that because everyone else is doing something, it's the right thing to do. It's great thoughts, that. It's massive thoughts. It's really important. Really important. Very important. And I will keep going on about it all the time. Really will. So is that good? Probably. Is it the be all and end all? Maybe. Do you have to have a great credit score? Maybe. But there's always a maybe not. Is there any other way? Especially when you're young. Especially when you're young. There is another way. Always another way. You don't have to fall into the system. That said, possibly as a society and as a financial setup in the world, maybe we're too far gone in the debt system, and maybe that's going to all have to change, and we all know where that goes. Dare I say it? A 4-letter word. But we'll see. 4-letter word, sorry. Four letters. Central Bank Digital. I nearly swore then. Currency. You know, it's inevitable. Don't fight it. You can fight it if you want. It's inevitable, but you want to protect yourself from all of these things. You really do. Well, you don't. It's up to you. Don't care. I do care. Of course I care. But ultimately it's your decision. Your decision. So interesting. There we go. First Whiskey Wednesday. Bit of swearing. Bit of whiskey, which is really cool. I'm really sorry. This probably won't go out till tomorrow. So it's a bit late. Well, it's 10:15. So we've done an hour, which is pretty cool. So I hope you enjoyed that one. It's back to my old self. Hope you like the setup. We'll have to get the old Monopoly board going again, won't we? I love that, the expression of our financial system and life as a rule on the Monopoly board and the chessboard. So I hope you like the setup. It's a bit more cleaner. Thank you very much for everyone that even bothers to listen. Genuinely, I know I go on a bit, but hopefully there's some wisdom in there. It definitely helps me. I'm not saying it's going to help anyone else. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. I'm not advising anybody. This is just my opinion on everything, you know. And all I'm doing is talking out loud, and that's my channel. I talk out loud. My wife hates it. She hates me talking so much. I think she loves me. Yeah, it's Valentine's Day today. Happy Valentine's to everybody. I think we've got 2 hours yet to go. If you're into your Bitcoin, enjoy the ride. Seems to be doing really well at the moment. Keep your eye on gold at the moment. Keep your eye on all of your assets. Keep an eye on your money. Keep an eye on your family. Love each other. Look after yourself. See you all soon. See you later. Bye.